Paxton's Gains and Pains. One morning, Paxton was in a siding when Oliver arrived. "Hello, Paxton," he said. "Nice to finally meet you." "Who are you?" said Paxton. "My name's Oliver," said Oliver. And, as I said, nice to meet you. "Nice to meet you too, Oliver," said Paxton. "What are you doing here?" "The Fat Controller has an announcement to make," he said. "Sir," said Oliver, "you can take it from here." And with that, the Fat Controller was ready. "Paxton," he said, "Hi, sir," said Paxton. "I didn't think you were coming." "I know you did. I knew you wouldn't," said the Fat Controller. And, "Sorry I didn't leave the railway immediately, sir," said Paxton. "It's because I couldn't find the buffers." "It's fine," laughed the Fat Controller. "The news is I've decided to keep you in my railway." "Really, sir?" said Paxton. And, "That's right," said the Fat Controller. "You're a good worker. You're a good worker and a really useful engine. And, that's because you told me already, didn't you?" "Yes, I did, sir," said Paxton. "Thanks for wanting to keep me in your railway, sir," he said. "I'm going to enjoy it." "I know you are," said the Fat Controller. And Oliver," said the Fat Controller to Oliver, "show Paxton around before he starts work." I'm starting today, sir," said Paxton. "Yes, you are," said the Fat Controller. "Oliver will show you your new job, new everything for you," he said. "Anyway, two of yous have fun." And Oliver, said the Fat Controller, "As I said, show Paxton around before he starts work." "Yes, sir," said Oliver, and with that, the Fat Controller walked away. "Come on, Paxton," said Oliver. "All right," said Paxton, and then the two engines were off. Paxton was enjoying himself, but still didn't bother to come back to the diesel sheds. He knew he wasn't one of them. He hurried along, and then he was finally ready. Oliver and Paxton arrived at a siding. It was next door to Wellsworth Station, and Paxton liked Wellsworth Station. "It's a beautiful station," he said. "In my railway, they didn't have a station like that before." "You like it?" said Oliver. "Yes," said Paxton. "It's awesome." And, "Hey," said Oliver, "Arthur's coming." And with that, he was right. Arthur was coming. "Nice to meet you, Paxton," said Arthur. "Nice to meet you too, Arthur," said Paxton. "I'm new to the railway." "I know you are," said Oliver. And you're starting your new job." Paxton was about to say something when they heard a whistle. "Someone's in trouble," said Oliver. But someone wasn't in trouble. It was Molly, with a batch of 3 dirty empty trucks to take to the coaling plant. Molly was in a bad mood. "Well, Molly," said Oliver, you're not looking so good today," he said. "I know I'm not," said Molly. And, "Hello, Molly," said Paxton. "My name's Paxton. I'm new to the railway." Yeah, be quiet," said Molly. Arthur was surprised at Molly. That's not the way to treat our new friend like that, Molly," said Arthur. "You should know that by now." Yeah, said Molly. "Leave me alone. I'm in a bad mood now, and I'm still not feeling so good." "I know you are," said Oliver. And, "let's have a little talk." They were about to talk, and then Oliver realised that he had a job. He had a job at Blue Mountain Quarry. "Oh, darn it," he said. "I was going to have a job at Blue Mountain Quarry. I guess I'm going to have to let Arthur show Paxton around. Goodbye, Paxton, said Oliver. I've got to go. I have a job at Blue Mountain Quarry. Bye, Oliver, said Paxton, and with that, Oliver was gone. Oh dear, said Paxton. Now what am I going to do? Don't worry, said Arthur. As Oliver said, I'll show you around. But the guard blew his whistle. Oh, that's my guard. I must go. Perhaps Molly will show you. This will be interesting. I know it would, said Paxton. And with that, Arthur puffed away too. So, nice beautiful day today, isn't it? Said Paxton. Yeah, said Molly. Be quiet, Paxton. Be quiet, Paxton, said Molly. Paxton couldn't think of everything to say to Molly. I like your yellow paint, he said. Thank you, said Molly. And Molly decided to say something. You know, Paxton, she said, you should treat an engine with respect. Paxton was cross. I feel like that I'm treating you nicely. I feel like that I'm treating you nicely, he said crossly. Or about, is there something I don't know about you? I, said Molly, used to be a double tender engine, she said, but some tank engines were fiddling around the yards and destroyed it. Oh, did they? Said Paxton. You poor thing. I know, said Molly. Anyway, you can take my train. I'm heading off to the works to see if my tender's fixed or not. You can take the train. Oh, certainly, said Paxton. And with that, Molly and Paxton were ready. Molly and Paxton switched lines, and with that, Paxton was coupled to the train. Bye, Molly, he said. Thanks for the train, said Molly, and enjoy it. I will, said Paxton, and Paxton was off. Laughed Molly. All I need now is a tender. 2 tenders, I mean. And with that, Molly was off. Later, Molly saw Murdoch, and then she came over to see him. Hi, Murdoch, she said. How are you doing? Those sleigh trucks are heavy, and they've been troublesome all day, said Murdoch. Can you help me? Oh, sure, said Molly. And Molly was ready. She didn't go at the front. She went backwards instead. She buffered up to Murdoch and pushed him backwards. Molly, said Murdoch, not so fast. But Molly wasn't really at the front. She was pushing him back. She was pushing Murdoch backwards. Slow down, Molly, said Murdoch. But it was too late. Murdoch was off the rails. Help, he said. The sleigh trucks were derailed too. And Murdoch was stuck. Molly, he said. Oh, sorry, said Molly. I'll go get the crane. I won't be long. And can I take your tender? Oh, sure, said Murdoch. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. I hope you'll repair it. Oh, certainly I will repair it, said Molly. And then Molly puffed away with Murdoch's tender. She was almost ready for her plan. I'm a double tender engine, she said. Look at me now, Paxton, she said Molly. Wow, Molly, said Paxton, you even look different. Just for you I've pulled your train. Good, said Molly, and now I have 2 tenders, she said. Isn't that Murdoch's tender, said Mighty Mac, because You're not a double tender engine. Just then, Arthur puffed in. That's Murdoch's tender, Molly, said Arthur. How dare you steal Murdoch's tender? And with that, Molly was even crosser. Leave me alone, she said. I'm trying to show our new friend what I'm capable of. Paxton was confused. I think the Sodor Railway wasn't a good idea, he said. I'm going to have to leave. No, don't leave, Paxton, said Arthur. We like you here. The Fat Controller knows you're nice. When suddenly, Duck was stuck inside a tunnel. Help, he said. Molly, can you help me? All right, fine, said Molly. But she was going to help Duck out of the tunnel when Paxton cut her line. Hey, said Molly, I was going to help. Not anymore, you're not, said Paxton, and with that Paxton went to the rescue. When Duck was out of the tunnel, the engines all gave 3 cheers for Paxton and felt very nice to him. Thank you, Paxton, said Duck. What would I have done without you? You're welcome at all, said Paxton. You're both excellent friends, said Paxton. Without you all, I could have been stuck in the old railway forever. We know, said Arthur. Hey up, said Murdoch. Here comes Mrs. Tender Stealer. And that was Molly. I see you're all making friends with the new diesel, huh? She said. Enjoy it while you all still can, she said. You're all gonna pay. No, Molly, said Mighty Mac. Just be nice to him. He's a kind, loving diesel, just like Boko and all the other diesels. Well, some are devils, actually. Molly, please. Molly ignored Mighty Mac. Fine, have it your way. Goodbye. And with that, Molly was gone. Come back, Molly, said Paxton. I feel like I was, Just then, Murdoch interrupted Paxton's talk. Just ignore her, said Murdoch. She's been silly today, and we're all ignoring her. Agreed, said Arthur, and with that, the engines were so happy, so was Paxton, and they were all making sure not to, and they were all minding their own business and definitely not being bullied by Molly. She's been silly today, said Arthur. Agreed, said Duck, and with that, Paxton and the other engines were both really useful engines, and as for Molly, she puffed angrily away. And Murdoch was happy that he got his tender back.